Hi, are you struggling with English speaking and writing tests? If so, welcome. You have come to the right place. I have got an 8.5 in IELTS speaking, and if I can get the score, well, so can you. Today I'm going to do a mock test of IELTS speaking part 3, and after that, I review my own responses in terms of the 4 scoring criteria. Now let's get started. I don't think it's everybody. I mean, there are people out there who would rather, read a book in a cafe or watch movies in their home. But it's absolutely one of the most common pastimes in Japan because, walking in the mountains, it's so refreshing. Breathing in fresh air or hearing little birds or looking at the greenery. It's so refreshing. So people who walk during the day might go hiking in the mountains over the weekend so that they can come back fresh the next Monday. So yeah, it's very common, but not everybody. I am guessing that it is because of the the great sense of accomplishment or fulfillment that people can feel when they have reached the top of the mountain. Because scaling a mountain is a very long process. It's a very long distance, and it entails some hardships. Sometimes you run out of breath, or sometimes you have to go over the very, very steep slope. So it's not easy. It's very physically demanding. But once you have overcome that, the sense of accomplishment you can feel is second to none. And also, another possible reason for climbing a mountain is that, the top of the mountain is kind of mysterious because the top part of very big mountains almost always covered in a fog. So people in the past, people in ancient times might have believed that there must be some kind of god or spiritual entity near the top of the mountain. So maybe that's why they wanted to come closer to the top of the mountain, believing that it could be the entrance to heaven or something like that. So maybe that's why people in ancient times started climbing mountains. Well, absolutely, falling rocks. Falling rocks can happen in any mountain. So when you walk up in the mountains, you have to be careful overhead because even if it's a very tiny piece of rock, if it hits you in the head, it's very dangerous. So you can't always enjoy the beauty of nature while walking up in a mountain. You have to be careful your surroundings. And also, this is even more dangerous, but a landslide, or if it's in winter, an avalanche can happen at any moment. So those things are very, very dangerous natural phenomena too. Okay, let's review my responses in terms of the scoring criteria. I'll start with fluency and coherence. Coherence means how much I have developed the given topic. And let's take a listen to this part of my response. Walking in the mountains, it's so refreshing. Breathing in fresh air or, hearing little birds or looking at the greenery. Fresh air, little birds, the greenery. I have provided 3 details of climbing a mountain to describe how refreshing it is. So when you describe something in a speaking test, you should give at least 2 or hopefully 3 or 4 details of whatever you're talking about to get a high score. Okay, pronunciation, how did I do here? So yeah, it's very common, but not everybody. But not everybody. But not everybody. I am emphasizing that not everybody is interested in climbing mountains, even though it is a very popular activity in my country. So I'm emphasizing something clearly here, so this can be a phonological feature that test examiners will like to hear. Okay, let's go resource. But once you have overcome that, the sense of accomplishment you can feel is second to none. Second to none. Do you know this idiom? Second to none. If something is second to none, it means it's the best or it's the greatest. You can also say there's nothing like it. Second to none. Okay, finally, grammar. That's why they wanted to come closer to the top of the mountain, believing that it could be the entrance to heaven. Believing that it could be the entrance to heaven. Believing that it could be the entrance to heaven. The believing here is something called a participle clause. Do you know what that is? It might sound a little bit difficult, but it's actually quite easy to use. You can use a participle clause when you are describing in a situation where you do something while doing something else. In other words, when you do two things at a time, you can use this. For example, I like to study in my room listening to my favorite music. So you study and listen to music at the same time. So you can use a participle clause, listening, in this sentence. So let's use that in your responses because this is very high-level advanced grammar. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, let me wish you good luck on your test.